We're getting closer and closer to playoff talk. It's not there yet, but we're getting there. Let's go over week 12. What's going on, guys? Sixport here, back to another video. As I said, we're going over the games for week 12 this season. Nothing has gone according to plan, and you just gotta love it. Let's get into these games. Alright, our Thursday night game is going to be between Buffalo and Houston. For Houston, they had a come-from-behind win against Tennessee, while Buffalo was able to get a win against Tampa Bay. For Buffalo, right now, it's the defense. They gave up over 30 points last week. I'm still concerned about that. That's going to be the thing that just keeps them from getting to where they want to go. Meanwhile, for Houston, they are going to be without C.J. Stroud again. Hopefully, Davis Mills can do a good job. But I am going to go with Buffalo over Houston on this one. Divisional matchup, Minnesota taking on Green Bay. Right now in the NFC North, we have Chicago in first place. Green Bay does not want that to continue. But for them, they got to play better. They lost against Philadelphia the week before, and then against New York, it wasn't good. They barely squeaked out a win. Not something you want to hear against a Giants team that has 2 wins on the year. They just have to play better. I say they get the job done against Minnesota. For J.J. McCarthy, I really hope he improves because it's not going well for him right now, but this is his first true year as an NFL quarterback, so hopefully we do see that improvement. Pittsburgh takes on Chicago. For Chicago, yes, they're in first place in the NFC North, but it doesn't really feel like a first-place division team right now. I just want to see more from them. I think Caleb Williams has definitely improved from his rookie year to this year, but I don't know if it's really enough. In Chicago, at times, it just doesn't seem like they're there yet. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they got a win last week. They needed that win, okay? They have to try to pile up the wins. But with Aaron Rodgers now dealing with a wrist issue, we don't know how long he's going to be out, and Mason Rudolph being the starter, what happens next? Luckily, the defense did well last week. I say they get the win over Chicago. New England takes on Cincinnati. For Cincinnati, Joe Burrow is inching closer and closer to returning. But is that really a good thing? It seems like he's being rushed, but we could talk about that later. For New England, okay, they're good. They're just good. Drake May is playing really good in his second year. The team is just rallying around Mike Vrabel. It's a crazy what a difference a year makes. Give me New England over Cincinnati. Jets taking on Baltimore. For Baltimore, they are only a game behind Pittsburgh for this division. Not something you would have thought of when they started 1-5, but now they're back to 500, taking on a New York Jet team that has benched Justin Fields. Tyrod Taylor, a former Raven, will be playing against them. I am going to go with Baltimore over the Jets on this one. Giants taking on Detroit. For the Giants, I did mention they have 2 wins on the year. Jackson Dart, in concussion protocol, did not play last week. Don't know if he's going to be back this week. We'll see. Meanwhile, for the Detroit Lions, they got to keep pace with the Bears, okay? They lost last week, lost first place in the division. Yeah, they got to rally up some wins. I say they get the job done. Indianapolis takes on Kansas City. Indianapolis is in first place in the division. I do expect them to win this division. I just don't know if they can go on a deep run right now, especially with how Daniel Jones has played the last 2 weeks. That can't continue. He just has to be better. And for Kansas City, time's running out. They're at 500. They've got to rally some wins. They're falling behind. And losing to Denver last week was killer for the division. I'm not going to say it's out of reach just yet, but it is getting there. Their hope is to get a wildcard spot, and getting a win against Indianapolis would go a long way, and I say they get it done. Seattle takes on Tennessee. For Seattle, they lost just by 2 points against the Los Angeles Rams, falling behind in the division. And for Tennessee, well, they're the favorites to land the number 1 overall pick. Not much more I can say. Going with Seattle. Jacksonville takes on Arizona. For Arizona, Jacoby Brissett set a record for the most completions in a single game, and the Cardinals still lost by multiple scores. If that doesn't tell a full story on their season, I don't know what does. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they're competing right now for a playoff spot. Even though they haven't looked their best, Trevor Lawrence is hot and cold. I don't know what to make of this team, but I am going to pick them over the Cardinals. Cleveland takes on Las Vegas. For Cleveland, Shedeur Sanders is going to get the start. He will make his first NFL start while filling in for an injured Dylan Gabriel. I'm just hoping it goes better than the game against the Ravens. Hopefully it does. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, I got nothing more to say. I really don't. I've run out of things to say about the Raiders. I'm just going to go with Cleveland because their defense is still really good, and I think that's the difference in this game. Philadelphia takes on Dallas. For Philadelphia, getting the win against the Lions was big. I'm still concerned about this team, though. At times, they're not consistent like I want them to be for a team that is looking to repeat as champions. Yes, they have the number 1 seed in the NFC, but that's only going to take them so far. They have to continue to improve as the season goes on. Meanwhile, for Dallas, I know they're fighting, but it just doesn't seem like there's enough with this team right now. It just doesn't seem like it's enough. Give me Philadelphia over the Cowboys. Atlanta takes on New Orleans. For Atlanta, just another disappointing season for them. This team should be so much better than what they have been the last few years, and now Michael Penix Jr. is out for the rest of the season with a partially torn ACL, which he had multiple of those in college, and Kirk Cousins is back as a starter. It's just a mess right now. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, I'm picking them. I'm picking the Saints over the Falcons in this game. Tampa Bay taking on the Rams. For Tampa Bay, right now, they are not as safe for the division right now as we thought a few weeks ago because of what Carolina's been doing lately. Meanwhile, for the Rams, getting the win over the Seahawks to get first place in that division, big for them. Matthew Stafford having the best season of his career. I'm going to go with the Rams over the Buccaneers. And our Monday night game, Carolina taking on San Francisco. Bryce Young, what the heck did you do? Over 400 yards, leading the Panthers to a win in overtime, and showing that you are a threat to the Buccaneers right now. What a performance. But for San Francisco, they're not out. They are not out of it. They are continuing to fight despite all the injuries, and I'm still going to go with them over Carolina. Alright guys, those are my picks for Week 12. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who do you think is going to be the first team to clinch a playoff spot? And as always, I'll see you guys next time.